Welcome back, and now let's turn our attention to stories from outside Africa. United States President Joe Biden and his Republican rival Donald Trump will meet for a debate on Thursday that offers an unparalleled opportunity for both candidates to try to reshape the political narrative. Now the Democratic incumbent, Biden, gets the chance to reassure voters that he's capable of guiding the U.S. through a range of challenges. Meanwhile, Trump could use the moment to try to move past his felony conviction in New York and convince an audience of tens of millions that he's temperamentally suited to return to the Oval Office. Well, Biden and Trump enter the night facing fierce headwinds, including a public weary of the tumult of partisan politics in the United States of America. To discuss this, I'm joined tonight by a former U.S. House Texas Republican Congressional candidate, Ejike Okpa, who joins us from Dallas in the United States of America. Ms. Okpa, good evening to you, and thanks for your time. I reckon you're looking keenly forward to tonight's debate.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'd like to comment on your jacket sport coat, and just kind of similar to what I have. It's just for the color.
All right.
You look well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Since their last debate 4 years ago, this is the first time that President Biden and Donald Trump will appear together in the same space. It's been a long time coming. What does this debate mean ahead of the election in November?
Well, what it means for, what it means for us Americans and, those who are going to be voting, or those who have already made up their mind, or those who are still on the fence trying to figure out who to vote, is to now look at both candidates, as they, get on stage and hear them say what it is they want to say to convince the voters that they are capable of getting the job done. At least we have had, Trump for the last, the first term he was there, and then we now have Biden, who's about to conclude his first term, and with all of that comes his own challenges. Both his own physical appearance and the fact that oftentimes when you look at him, you get confused as to what is he saying, or he goes back and his defenders come back and say, hey, he didn't mean that. So now we're gonna hear from the horses. Horses' mouth. They can have 90 minutes to speak to the American people, and then but granted that debates don't win an election, polls don't win an election, votes win an election, and we're hoping that by November 5th, when we make that exercise, which is one of the most important things we do as citizens, that we'll be able to have shown who it is we want. I'm a Republican. But I'm objective. It's not that Biden is going to convince me or say anything that persuade me otherwise. And I'm sure there are Democrats are going to feel that way when they hear Trump. So that's what it is. In fact, it's going to be one of the biggest television viewing moments in America today.
Interesting. But what will change this time? The last debate was so heated with a lot of punctuations, interruptions. Many still remember Biden's "Will you shut up, man?" outburst. Remember that one? But do you see this turning out different this time?
I don't think, because everybody we've seen it. The two people don't like each other, at least publicly. Nobody knows what they do if they meet themselves in a private setting. But publicly, they don't. Trump is called him Sleepy Joe. Trump called him Crooked Joe, and Joe himself, don't have very nice things to say about Trump. But that's just the nature of the American politics. It's a war of words, and you want to, undermine, the next opponent based on what it is you're going to say. At the end of the day, they will shake hands and they smile. But, those on both sides are already hardened as to who they're going to vote. This is how I describe this is two horses in a derby. One is ready to get out there and run. One can barely even, walk. I don't think if Biden is told to, walk for 100 feet, he can do it, well without having to, freeze. We've seen him freeze on stages. We've seen him, look lost as to what did he say or what is he about to say. But all of that doesn't matter. Today is their night. All eyes on these two horses. the Biden horse and the Trump horse. And we'll see, but it's an exciting moment. I'm going to be watching it in the comfort of my man cave because I don't want anybody to interrupt my attention as listen to what they have to say.
I can see you poised. It's going to be definitely interesting and explosive. Thank you so very kindly for your time tonight, Ejike Okpa, all the way from Dallas, Texas.
Well, thank you for having me, and good night.
May the best man win.